Hello and welcome to Honeybees and Orchids. I thought we would have another look at the rest of the orchids in the collection. Let's pan over here and talk a bit about seasons. The seasons are changing, and the rack that was up here is above the central heating, so I took it off and placed it in the kitchen and rearranged the orchids. The only orchids that are still here is the Dendrobium perioda, which is these are this year's canes. They're doing really well. They're not that much on closed leaves. Here's one. See? Oh, it's nearly not possible to see. It's a bit silhouetted. I still got my Passavola yellowbird, probably. Its latest growth is really coming on. Wait, I'm gonna get more light. One moment. That is better. This is the latest mature growth. It's still it is producing new roots at the moment. It's bigger than the canes it had and fatter, so I hope it will bloom. It's impossible to see, but there are no buds yet. The other growth is coming on nicely. This is the other one that's still in front of the window. This is my Thalamnia Gyrac Firm White and Toot. Hey Toot. The latest fans are coming on really nicely. There are new roots. Look at that nice root tips. That's a new fan. There's a new fan at the back. It's also is rooting. So I see no reason why it shouldn't bloom. But not yet, probably. By Toot. And my Spanish moss. And the little Tillandsia. It seems to be getting thicker, so I think it's growing. It's funny stuff. Then we go back here. I chopped and changed a bit because I took the rack off in front of the window. I think I've not shown you this one. This is the hibiki, which its growth is extending. Seems to be doing well. So, and my other little Thalamnia, which is here. Latest growth is coming on nicely. Wait. The latest growth is coming on nicely, and it's a new growth starting, which is extending too. Not sure if it will bloom. I think Thalamnias are capable of blooming on every mature fan, whether they have 1 fan or 10 fans. So, but let's wait and see. And another thing I wanted to show, this is the Pintada Rosada Crastwil Leopoldii Pintada from Roger. Look at that. That's a new root starting. So there's progress. Nice. Well, here's the new rack in the kitchen. First things first. This is the Cattleya Marichen crossed with Duveni, which I bought from Roger. As you can see, in a week time, rot had set in. I took off the smallest bulb and it was jet black inside. So yeah, it's going out. There's no holding it back. I could get the cane out, but I took the smallest cane off and it's jet black inside, so I'm not taking a risk. It's going in the bin. Well, off the mount and in the bin. I will sterilize the mount for further use. Well, too bad, but those things happen. Well, this is my new little rack. That's the above stuff is the rack that was in front of the window, and that, well, is just a freezer drawer that I hung up to make a little niche. Let's start here. This is the Dendrobium linguale I got from Inse. It seems to be growing, but I'm not sure it's visible. I think I will block the light. Look at that, Inse. There's green at the bottom. It looks like a new cane. That's great. So progress on that one too. Let's hang it here so I can reach the rest. The film we already looked at. Nothing has changed in a week time. This is the Lotte Jessie. There was a clump of growth there, but promptly rotted back, so I took it away. It's doing okay. I wouldn't say it's doing great, but there's growth, at least. Not much difference on my Morelliana. Same with the Findleyanum. It's still holding in. Let's see if there are new growths. Well, not yet, but it isn't going downhill. It lost a couple of leaves, but it isn't going downhill. This is my tortilli. And sorry, Nina, I took a look down the band-aid, and I will show a picture because I didn't film it, but I show a picture up here about now. It was dying back at the spot, so I nipped it off. It was green inside and healthy looking, so I cinnamoned it. And if it can focus, that looks like a little bump, even a little bit greenish already. So I think there's new growth coming, which is nice. The other cane is still looking okay. A little bit of leaf dieback. My Victoria Regina we already looked at. This is the Nelly Eilig. Which has some new growth. It isn't really happy. I think I'm going to mount it. Yeah, it gets too little water. My Phalaenopsis Caesar evergreen is growing a root finally, so it's coming back. I threw out my Oncidium Cheyenne because, yeah, it lost all its vigor and it really wasn't coming on. And this one I got for my birthday, and it's so incredibly similar looking bloom wise. The pot is very dry, it needs some water, which you will get in a moment. Desperate water, but I'm a bit scared of watering this stuff because it's bone dry here. and moist down here, but judging by the weight, it's almost ready for a repot anyways. So I threw out the Cheyenne and I kept this one because it's a far better plant than the Cheyenne was, and the blooms look very similar. The lip on the Cheyenne is yellow and the lip on this one is yellowish with a bit of purplish and a bit more fringe at the edges, so it's beautiful. This is the Oncidium Twinkle Cinnamon I got from Roger. Well, one part of it, and this is the other part. They're both in spike, which is great. For the moment I'm just growing it like this, which doesn't seem to be a problem, and I think I'm going to do that with a lot of Jessie too. Just lay it flat, leave it that way. I haven't seen any scale. Well, there's a bit, but it seems to be, it looks like I'm winning the fight. There are a bit more skill on here. There are some, which is, in that stage they are quite easy to remove. Just a Q-tip with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Do not use ethanol. Ethanol eats into the tissue of the plant. Use isopropyl alcohol at least 70%. And a little spike on it. So I'm winning the fight. I have to keep up with it because these got some new ones, or new eggs that hatched probably. I chose this place because if I pan round, this is my outside door, and garden with way too much crap, but okay. In winter, the sun is coming up there, or just behind the house. It will climb a bit. That tree, that Acer species, will have lost its leaves, and if I trim my hedge, which is really necessary, but the sun goes that way, climbs a bit, and then gently goes down about there, a bit further maybe even, but then the spruce is blocking the sunlight, and it's not shining through the window, the kitchen window anymore. But those hours in the early morning up until noon, is it noon? Well, lunchtime I should say, I'll say, it's shining in here, and I hope in combination with the growth lights, it's enough for the winter resters to bloom. We'll close the door because we had car people outside, and the nights are way cooler in the kitchen than in the living room. So thank you for watching. If you still got any questions, please leave them in the comments. Got any videos, ideas, or anything like that, any suggestions on making better videos maybe, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you. For now, well, hope to see you soon. Please, if you like to look at another video, check at the end. There is another video, or in the comments there's another pinned comments about orchids. And hope to see you soon. Houdoe!